This week's parasha, it says in the pasuk, Vayetzei Yaakov v'Yashava v'yelech harana, v'yifka b'makom, v'yolem sham kivor hashemesh, v'yikach ma'avnei ha'makom, v'yosem min ha'shoysa v'yishka b'makom ahu. So the pasuk v'yifka b'makom, Rashi says that when Yaakov came to that place, which is Har Moriah, v'yifka b'makom, and Rashi says one of the pshatim was he davened Ma'ariv. Now Taisus says a very interesting thing from this pasuk. Taisus in Bereshis says, from here we learn Yaakov Tika in Tfilas Arvis. Yaakov was Masakin Arvis. Now Avram was Masakin Shachris, Yitzchak Mincha, and Yaakov Ma'ariv. That's why people daven early before the nates. They call it Terach Minyan. Why is it called Terach Minyan? Avram was Masakin Shachris, Yitzchak Mincha, Yaakov Ma'ariv. So what's before Shachris? Is early. Who's before Avram? Terach. So that's what it's called. Yeah, it's called Terach's Minyan. The one to daven before Nates is called Terach's Minyan because Avram's father was Terach. But Yaakov was Masakin Tfilas Arvis. Now, the Taisus says over there, what happened was Yaakov came to that place. And it says afterwards, Vayol and Sham Kivor Hashemesh. So Vayifka b'makom, he davened Ma'ariv. And then it says afterwards, Vayol and Sham Kivor Hashemesh. And then he went to sleep there because Kivor Hashemesh. So when did the Shemesh come? After the Vayifka b'makom. After Yaakov davened Ma'ariv, after the Masakin Ma'ariv, then it says Vayol and Sham Kivor Hashemesh. That means Yaakov davened Ma'ariv, and afterwards the sun set. Says Taisvis, the kosher was nitten per kamer the kamash eines man tfilis ad tzedek chavim. Well, if you mash a parasha the kamer keb Yehuda, the Omar ad plag hamincha nicha v'yafa minig shalanu our minig the adarabah toiv lehispalo mi'ba'oid yoim tzas. It's better to daven Ma'ariv mi'ba'oid yoim tzas. Taisvis says it's better to daven Ma'ariv. So Taisus says from this pasuk we see Vayifka b'makom vayol and Sham Kivor Hashemesh.
Is he still in the channel? Yeah.
Vayol and Sham Kivor Hashemesh. So Taisus says first it was davened and then Kivor Hashemesh. So that's the V'yafa minik shalano da'adarabah toiv l'spal ba'oid yom k'tzas. It's better to daven Ma'ariv ba'oid yom k'tzas when it's still day. That's what Taisus says. So let's figure out what's going on over here. We all know there's a famous machlokes exactly when you're allowed to daven Ma'ariv. You can daven Ma'ariv only at night. You can daven Ma'ariv earlier. You can daven Ma'ariv from Plaga Mincha and on. There's a lot of minyanim in the summer with daven Mincha after Plaga Ma'ariv after Plaga Mincha. Where does this come from? Where does this machlokes come from? So the truth is, if you look in the Mishnah never speaks anywhere about when does this man Ma'ariv start. The Pashas we understand Ma'ariv starts when it gets dark. Some people daven after Plaga Mincha. We'll see why soon. The Mishnah just says, "Amachlokes of Yehuda Chachamim." What's this man Mincha? Tfilas HaMincha says in the Mishnah ad ha'erev. The time for davening Mincha is till at night, ad ha'erev. That's the Chachamim. Rabbi Yehuda Omer ad Plaga Mincha. Rabbi Yehuda says the time to daven Mincha is till Plaga Mincha. Plaga Mincha is half. It's called half of Mincha, meaning you take the last part of the day, you split it in half, you take a quarter of that. That's called Plaga Mincha. Half of the time of Mincha Katana. It's like an hour and 15 minutes before night. So at Plaga Mincha, Rabbi Yehuda says the time of Mincha. Rabbi Yehuda holds you're not allowed to daven Mincha after Plaga Mincha. You can't daven Mincha anymore. That's the Rabbi Yehuda shita. The Rabbanan hold you're allowed to daven Mincha till at night ad ha'erev. That's all it says in the Mishnah. You turn to the Gemara of Zayin and Aleph. The Gemara says, who do we pass like? Rabbi Yehuda or the Chachamim? Till when are you allowed to daven Mincha? Till Plag? Or you can daven Mincha even later. So the Gemara says, Amalei Rav Chisda Yitzchak Hasam Amalei Rav Kana Locha Rabbi Yehuda It says in Maseches Idiyos, halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, so we pass on like Rabbi Yehuda to plag mincha. Hachama ishtik v'lamel v'lamidya Rav Chisda nachze anan midrav matzli shal Shabbos be'erev Shabbos mi'bayid yoyim shema min no halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gemara, how do we know halacha Rabbi Yehuda? Midrav matzli shal Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. Rav davened Ma'ariv Friday night on erev Shabbos by day. It's a raya that we pass on like Rabbi Yehuda that mincha is till plag. What does one thing have to do with the other? We have a machlokes here in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim, till when you're allowed to daven mincha. Are you allowed to daven mincha till plag? Or are you allowed to daven mincha till it's dark? Now, the fact that Rabbi davened Ma'ariv earlier, what does that have to do with the machlokes about till when mincha goes? So the Rishonim are very busy with this question. And the Torah brings down from the Rav Yo that there's no place, it doesn't say anywhere what time you're allowed to start davening Ma'ariv. When does Ma'ariv start from? Ma'ariv starts from Plag, Ma'ariv starts from Tzeis. It doesn't say anywhere. The Torah brings down from the Rav Yo, Rav Ezri, Miduloi Yahavi Rabbanan Zman L'Hascholas Tfilas Erev. Since the Chachamim never give you a time when you're allowed to start davening Ma'ariv, Shema Mina Shebegmar Zman Tfilas HaMincha, whenever the time of Mincha finishes, Maschil Zman Tfilas Erev. That's when the time of Ma'ariv starts. And what does that mean? Whenever, let's say that Rabbi Yehuda holds Mincha is till Plag. After Plag can't daven Mincha anymore, now starts Zman Ma'ariv. What does that have to do with anything? Ma'ariv is meant to daven at night. So they explain that Mincha and Shachris are connected to Talmud. Talmud Shachar, Talmud Shabbeinu Rabbi, they're both the Karbonis. So the carbon Talmud Shabbeinu Rabbi, you only allowed to bring till Plag and Mincha. That's why Mincha ended then. Ma'ariv starts after you can't be makriv the carbon Mincha anymore, which is the Talmud Shabbeinu Rabbi, now starts Tfilas Ma'ariv. That's what the Torah says. So really the machlokes starts not when Ma'ariv starts. The machlokes starts when does Mincha end. That's the machlokes in the Mishnah. Mincha ends Plag and Mincha, or Mincha ends till at night, till Zman Ma'ariv. Once we have that machlokes established, then we can go and decide when Zman Ma'ariv starts. Does Zman Ma'ariv start from Plag and Mincha? Does Zman Ma'ariv start from Tzeis HaGechavim? After Mincha finishes. And the Gemara comes out, the Gemara says, the Ovid Kamar, Ovid, you can do any way you want. You could either pass like Rabbi Yehuda or like the Chachamim. So B'kitzur, Rabbi Yehuda holds Zman Mincha is till Plag Mincha. Automatically, after Zman Mincha, starts Zman Ma'ariv. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, you'll have to start davening Ma'ariv right after Plag Mincha. The Rabbanan hold no. Zman Mincha is till at night. You'll have to daven Mincha till at night. So Mamela, it comes out you can't daven Ma'ariv yet. You have to wait for Zman Mincha to finish till at night, and then you could start davening Ma'ariv at night. So you have machlokes at Banan and Rabbi Yehuda. They each have a kula and they each have a chumrah. One Rabbi Yehuda is the chumrah in mincha. That mincha can only go till Plag, and then the kula in Ma'ariv starts right after Plag. And the Chachamim hold the opposite. They go the chumrah in mincha in Ma'ariv. Ma'ariv can only start when it gets dark, but they go the kula in mincha. You're allowed to have a mincha till it gets dark.
So there's no third case. You can't have a mincha, till it gets dark, and daven Ma'ariv
before it gets dark.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
But in the summertime, we daven mincha after Plag.
And Ma'ariv before it gets dark?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to speak about. That's what we're going to speak about.
Okay.
That's what we're here for today.
So, isn't the essential argument why we're davening this? Are we davening them because of the karbanos, or are we davening them because of the avos?
No, so the Avos was sacking it. The Avos was sacking the tefillis, but we definitely davening connected the mincha and connected the shachris, the tamidim. Everyone agrees that. But the reason why we daven mincha till Plag is because that's when you have to start bringing makrav the carbon.
But some say that you daven after.
After, yeah, because it's not totally in the karbanos. Right, because it's not totally in the. Yeah, the Rabbanan will say till at night, because it's not totally until when you're able to makrav the carbon tamid. and a family.
You could bring it later?
No, you can't bring it later. It's not dependent in that.
Right.
It's not dependent in the carbon atomic. Correct. That's Pshat and Rabbanon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Pshat and Rabbanon. So now, if that's true, if what we said now is true, it comes out that if someone decides the Ovid come out of it, the Ovid come out of it, says the Gemara. You can do whichever way you want. You can either hold like the Rabbi Yehuda, or you can hold like the Chachamim. You can either hold Minchas till Plag and Ma'ariv is after Plag, or you can hold like the Chachamim, that Minchas till at night and Ma'ariv is once it gets dark. Now, if someone wants to do both, you can't do both. You can't say I hold like the Rabbi Yehuda and I hold like the Chachamim
At the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So that means if someone wants to daven mincha today after Plag and daven Ma'ariv right away, there's an issue. How can you do that? Either you hold like the Chachamim or you hold like the Rabbi Yehuda, and even more. We'll see, could I hold today like the Chachamim and tomorrow like Rabbi Yehuda? Can I do that? Every day something else? Every day something else. Today I can hold like the Rabbi Yehuda.
I'm leaving now. Thank you for lunch.
Is it convenient?
Yeah, when it's convenient for me, I'll daven mincha before Plag, and then if it's I'll daven after Plag, I'll daven Ma'ariv after Plag. Can you do one day like Rabbi Yehuda and one day like Chacham?
Also Shabbos, people.
So Shabbos, we'll get to everything. We'll get to Shabbos. We'll get to everything. We'll get to everything. Why Shabbos may be different. So that's the question. So if you look in the Gemara, the Ovid Kamar, to do both after Plag and Mincha, daven Mincha and Ma'ariv after Plag and Mincha, you're running into a Tata Desasri. You cannot do that. Now, it's interesting, in Halacha, and you see from Tosfos, that in the olden days, the minig was, in most places, to daven Ma'ariv after Plag Mincha, before it gets dark. Tosfos says, that's Nicha V'yafa minig Shalanu. Our minig, what's our minig? Tosfos is saying the minig was in those days, that they daven Ma'ariv always, before it got dark.
No street lights and dangers.
So no street lights, people didn't go out at night. They daven Ma'ariv when it was light outside, before it got dark. But obviously, they daven mincha before Plag. Because they didn't daven mincha before Plag, then you run into problems. And if you look at Halacha, in Halacha it's brought down, the Magen Avraham brings it down that in those days, most people paskind went with Rabbi Yehuda Shita. That you could daven Ma'ariv when it's still light outside. You're allowed to daven Ma'ariv when it's light, because till Plag Mincha is Man Mincha, after Plag Mincha is Man Ma'ariv, that's Rabbi Yehuda Shita. The Mishnah Berurah brings down, V'hinei, Bizmanenu Nagu Rav Ha'olam, Likras Kriyishma U'Lespalel, Achar Tzeis HaKachavim, Kedin. See what it means, Kedin. What do you mean, Kedin? You can pass like Rabbi Yehuda, you can pass like Chachamim. What does it mean, Kedin? Pick it either way you want. Yesh Adayin Minik Hayasham. The old minik, Shemispalon Tekef Achar Mincha, after whom Eboidem Ktsas, Vamaspalo B'mchaimas Ha'elu Yira Lachzer V'likras Krishmak Shegi Azman. So the Mishnah Berurah also says there are some places that still have that old minik, the daven Ma'ariv, when it's still light outside. They go like Rabbi Yehuda. So the truth is, if someone wants to daven Ma'ariv after Plag, daven Mincha before Plag, it's not a problem. Mishnah Berurah says, Toiv l'hakma daven Ma'ariv. Later on, we'll see why soon. But al tadine is man tfilas Ma'ariv and man tfilas Mincha. If someone davens Mincha before Plag, he wants to daven Ma'ariv after Plag, there's no problem at all. The Chatchila, you go do it, there's no problem.
You have to finish Shemona Esrei before Plag is over? Or what?
The Pashas have to finish Shemona Esrei before Plag. Yeah, before Plag, yeah. This man Mincha means you finish Mincha. The question is, and this is all the Rishonim in the beginning of Masechtas Brachos have this question. It says in the Mishnah, the first Mishnah of Masechtas Brachos, Ma'evisai Kar Shema Ba'arvis, when do you say Shema at night? And the Mishnah says, Kishosha Kihan Nachnas Lacha B'Tshuma Al Sefer Shmur Rishayna. Different sheet is exactly when does Man Ma'ariv starts. And according to everybody almost, this Man Kriyishma Shal Arvis starts when it gets dark outside. When it's light outside, there's no Zman Kriyishma Shal Arvis.
3 stars.
Whatever the Zman is, let's say 3 stars. There's different sheets in the Mishnah. But everyone agrees, whether it's the beginning of Shkia, whether it's a few minutes later, whether when it gets very dark, whatever it is, it has to start becoming night in order to have the Zman Kriyishma Shel Arvis. So that's all the Rishonim here. I understand. Us, meaning the minig was in those days, we say Kriyishma in Shul. When it's still light outside. They daven Ma'ariv when it was still light outside. So we're all davening Ma'ariv when it's still light outside. Just leave it to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says man Kriya Shema is not till later. Now I want to specify. What we spoke about till now had nothing to do with Kriya Shema. We spoke about till now was Shmoyne Esrei. Tfilis Ma'ariv means Shmoyne Esrei, not Kriya Shema. So till now we spoke about this man Tfilis Ma'ariv meant Shmoyne Esrei. Asks all the Rishonim in the beginning of the Masechta, then how can we go ahead and say Kriya Shema when it's still light outside? This man Kriya Shema of Ma'ariv is not till later. Says Rashi, Im Kain Lama Kayin Oysa Beis HaKnesses. Why do we say Kriya Shema in Beis HaKnesses? Meaning, what do you have to say B'chlal for? Daven Shemon Esrei, Daven Ma'ariv without saying Kriya Shema. Why are we saying Kriya Shema at all in the Beis HaKnesses? Says Rashi, Lamoid B'tfilah Metoich Divrei Torah. That's why we say Kriya Shema in the Beis HaKnesses. Rashi and most of the Rishonim hold that the fact that we say Kriya Shema when it's still light outside in shul has nothing to do with the Chiv Kriya Shema of at night, because you're not yet to the Chiv. You're not yet to the Chiv yet. You may be able to daven Ma'ariv. That's Tfilah Shemona Esrei. You could daven when it's still light outside. Kriya Shema you can't daven yet. You can't say Kriya Shema. You can't be Vayetzei the Chiv of Kriya Shema till it is dark. So why are we saying Kriya Shema with Medrash when we're davening before when it's still light outside? You should say Divrei Torah before Shemona Esrei.
What if you come late and you come right before Shemona Esrei for Mara?
Yeah.
So you have to daven with the.
So that's something else. So that's something else. If someone.
When you have to go back, you may as well wait till it gets dark outside and then do it.
There are some people that, because of this, they'll daven Shemona Esrei. Let's say daven with the mean davens before when it's still light. They'll daven Shemona Esrei, but Shema and the Bereshis Kriya Shema they'll say later on at night. And that's a whole different shadow about being masmich geudla l'tfilah at night. You have to be seimich geudla l'tfilah go'al Yisrael to Shemona Esrei at night or not. Which is a different question. I think we spoke about it last year about being masmich geudla l'tfilah at night. Let's leave that aside for now. We're going to deal with Shemona Esrei is not a problem to daven when it's still light outside. The problem starts Kriya Shema. You say Kriya Shema in shul. What's that Kriya Shema that we're saying in shul?
If that Kriya Shema is Divrei Torah,
yeah.
What are the brachas?
Oh, very good. What are the brachas Kriya Shema? That's like Rashi, that you say Kriya Shema is only B'toich Divrei Torah. So what's the brachas Kriya Shema? You should say the brachas Kriya Shema at night.
Yeah, is it?
What is it? What is it? Just say Shema and then say Shemona Esrei. What's the brachas Kriya Shema?
More than that, is it a bracha v'tala?
Or is it a bracha l'vatala? Yeah, is it a bracha l'vatala? What are the brachas Kriya Shema? According to Rashi, according to other Rishonim, they're saying Shema by day before Ma'ariv Shemona Esrei is because of just Divrei Torah. So what's the brachas Kriya Shema? Taisus is very bothered by this question. And Taisus says, and you're not doing that. You're not doing that when you're davening by day, because the Kriya Shema is saying is that Yechiv Kriya Shema. Therefore, says Rabbi Tam, a very, very big chiddush, and the Poskim will use it very rarely to be saying on this. But the Rabbi Tam is a very big chiddush. Rabbi Tam says that there's man Kriya Shema of night. They say B'shach b'cha of kumecha. You have to say Kriya Shema in the morning and at night. It starts when it's still light outside. That's a Rabbi Tam's chiddush. That this man Chiv Kriya Shema is when it's still light outside. And Taisus says in the Amid Beis here. Taisus says brachas on the Beis Amid Beis.
By Rabbeinu Tam, you don't repeat it at home.
According to Rabbeinu Tam, will come out. You don't have to repeat Kriya Shema again at night. You Vayetzei Yechiv Kriya Shema when you daven Ma'ariv after Plag. You also Vayetzei Yechiv Kriya Shema after Plag. Kriya Shema and Shemona Esrei.
Where does he bring that?
Where's he get the proof for that?
Yeah, where does he bring it from?
So the Rabbeinu Tam says, V'yesh loymar, the Kaimelon Rabbi Yehuda the Amar Perek Tzul HaShachar, the Zman Tfilas Mincha Ad Plag HaMincha, Tainu Echad As HaShoyes Pachas Reviyah, Umiyad, K'sheyichle Zman HaMincha, Maschil Zman Arvis. And that means not just Shemona Esrei, that also means the Chiv of Kriya Shema. And if you look at Taisus and Amid Beis, Taisus says that according to Rabbi Yehuda, the Loi Darish B'shach B'chav Kumecha. Rabbi Yehuda is not darshan the pasuk b'shach b'chov k'mecha tell us the chiv kriya shema at night. It's a big chiddush in Rabbi Tam. Rabbi Tam says that according to Rabbi Yehuda that says tu plaga mincha zman mincha and after that zman ma'ariv doesn't mean just the Shemoneh Esrei. It means even kriya shema. And you Vayetzei fulfill your chiv kriya shema, and that's why you say it with the brachas. And that's why you say it with the brachas. Then it's no problem because if you fulfill your chiv, you won't have to say kriya shema again at night when you get home. Rabbi Tam shita.
It seems to me we have a problem.
Why?
If we're holding Rabbeinu Tam, right, then we should say Shema and we say the brachas, and we don't say it at home. We're done. We say, right. If we don't hold Rabbeinu Tam,
I can say the brachas.
you shouldn't be saying the brachas because
Right.
the brachas of the top.
Right. So that's where the Rabbi Tam comes up to this.
And we
Now,
should.
the question: what are we doing today? What are we doing today? The Ma'aser today, we're not samach in the Rabbi Tam. We don't pass on the Rabbi Tam, and that's why the Mishnah Berurah says that if you're gonna, you should do it kedin to daven ma'ariv at night later on. What does it mean kedin? Because the Kriya Shema with the brachas is saying too early. You have to say Kriya Shema again at night. So the Rishonim do say that. Chachamim explain that according to the ones that don't hold like a Rabbi Tam, you have to say Kriya Shema at night again. You say daven ma'ariv early. You have to say Kriya Shema again at night. What happened to the brachas? They say they were masakin the brachas as part of ma'ariv davening. Part of ma'ariv davening, which is a chiddush also. Each way you go, you have to come out a chiddush. Each way, I'm trying to prove to you is that this davening ma'ariv when it's day, you're coming out a chiddush either way. According to the Rabbi Tam, it's a very big chiddush. You don't even pass like the Rabbi Tam, and not like the Rabbi Tam. You have to come out to a chiddush that the brachas that we're saying on Kriya Shema on ma'ariv doesn't really have to do with the chiv Kriya Shema. It's part of ma'ariv. It's part of ma'ariv davening. Part of ma'ariv davening is to say brachas and Shema, and then say Shemoneh Esrei.
Like the Nusach of Tefillah.
The Nusach HaTefillah, which is a very big chiddush also. Which is a very big chiddush.
Then we're not saying Shema because it's Divrei Torah.
We are.
No, we're not.
You're not
We're saying it because it's part of Mara.
part of ma'ariv, but you're not fulfilling your chiv Kriya Shema of at night.
Right.
Divrei Torah means when they were masakin ma'ariv, they didn't want to say just have a Shemoneh Esrei. Say Shema, say the brachas of Shema.
But this is the third argument.
Yeah.
It's a third argument.
No, it's Rashi's shita.
The argument that you use for the brachas
Yeah.
now applies to Shema as well. No, we're not doing it because it's a requirement. We're doing it because it's just part of the pattern of Mara.
No, but why did we put that into ma'ariv for? Why did you put Shema into ma'ariv? Why didn't you just leave Shemoneh Esrei? They have to come out to Rashi that you wanted to do Shemoneh Esrei with Divrei Torah. And once we did that, we put brachas for it also.
But if you're doing it at Divrei Torah, then you shouldn't put those brachas in.
Those are the brachas that were masakin for ma'ariv. This is one of the riots that the brachas we say. There's a whole different shadow. We once spoke about this. That the brachas we say on Kriya Shema is a brichas mitzvahs.
Right.
According to this, it can't be a brichas mitzvahs because we're not being mekayim mitzvah Kriya Shema.
Okay.
So either way you're going to go to daven ma'ariv early and to say Shema with the brachas, you're running into problems. You write Shemoneh Esrei is not a problem. Shemoneh Esrei is lechatchila. The brachas with the Kriya Shema, then you have to come on to I would call it a doichik teretz of some of the Rishonim, some of the Achraim, to answer why you could do it. And that's why the Mishnah Berurah says over here that you should do it kedin and daven ma'ariv later on. Why? Because then you won't have this problem with the brachas of the Kriya Shema.
So if you accept that second chiddush, then when you do the Shema at home, do you have to add brachas to it?
No, you won't add brachas again. When you say that, that's a chiddush. You're coming at night. You come at night, it's dark already, now you say Kriya Shema again. Now that's if Ikachiv Kriya Shema. There is no brachas. The Kriya Shema is set earlier by day. For that you have brachas. The Kriya Shema, which is the main Kriya Shema at night when you get home, for that you don't have brachas. That's what comes out. That's what comes out. So those who are davening ma'ariv, that's why the Mishnah Berurah says.
So then that should be your kavanah. You're saying the brachas.
No, Gerov Oilam Likras Kriya Shema will spell Achatetz Kachavim Kedin. What does it mean Kedin? You could have ma'ariv lechatchila. You could have a ma'ariv after Plaga Mincha. What does it mean kedin? What it means kedin is because you're running into problems with the brichas Kriya Shema, not with the Shemoneh Esrei, not with the Tefillas ma'ariv. The Tefillas ma'ariv is the lechatchila. As I said, I heard from one pasuk that you would have a ma'ariv Shemoneh Esrei with the meaning with the plag ma'ariv we'll call it, but he wouldn't say brichas Kriya Shema and Shema. That he would wait till he gets on my night later on and say brichas Kriya Shema Kriya Shema. The minhag Olam is not that way.
So the only thing that he's missing is Samech Gulot Tefillah.
Right, and he's missing Samech Gulot Tefillah, which is a whole different child. If it's a problem with Samech Gulot Tefillah at night, because say Baruch Shem Olam anyway, you say Hashkeveinu anyway. If it's a problem of Smichas Gulot Tefillah, the it's not the minhag Olam. The minhag Olam was always and is now that if someone's davening after Plag, they'll daven with the Bereshis Kriyishma and with Shema, just to make sure at night when you get home to say over Shema.
But they have to have in mind that they're not saying the brachas for the Shema they're about to say.
Why? The brachas are for that. They're almost the brachas for that
They're
Shema.
not for the Shema that you're saying in Maariv. Those brachas are applying to something you do when you get home.
No, it's not. The brachas aren't applying for the Shema later on. The brachas are for the Shema now. Don't call it Bereshis HaMitzvahs, because they're not being Mekayim Mitzvah. Kriya Shema now. Call it Bereshis HaShvach.
Does the Shema Al Mita take care of the obligation to
So
say?
the Kriya Shema Al Mita take care of the obligation. That's one of Taisa's kashas. Taisa says the Kriya Shema Al Mita that we say at night. Why we say Kriya Shema Al Mita? So Taisa says a few times that the reason why we say Kriya Shema Al Mita is a shmira for the mazikim. That's why we say Kriya Shema Al Mita, to watch it from the mazikim that are coming around at night. So if someone wants to say Shema at night and be yaitz with the Kriya Shema Al Mita, he has to be mechavan that's been mekayim the Mrs. Kriya Shema. You could. You definitely could. But you have to have a mind that now fulfilling my chiv Kriya Shema, which happens a lot of times on Shabbos. People daven early, very common, and they come home at night and they'll say Kriya Shema Al Mita. You have to have a mind that you be mekayim the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. All this that we spoke about now is during the week. All this that we spoke about now is a regular Tuesday. Someone wants to daven Ma'ariv early, you could daven Ma'ariv early, it's Ma'ariv, but it's a Bereshis Kriyishma and the brachas where you run into problems, and the Mishnah Berurah says it's better to daven later on. It's better. If someone knows later on he's not going to get out at night, especially in the summer when it gets very late, and he knows between me and you he's not going to make it to the Ma'ariv at night, better daven early, you daven a minyan early and you're okay.
If there's only 1 minute, it would be better to
only 1 minyan
later at home, though, like with the whole full
No,
thing.
if there's only 1 minyan, you
earlier.
daven with a minyan earlier. There are some person that will tell you better daven b'chidus at night, but it's not much that way from the mechaber.
I heard that it doesn't matter if you usually daven, if you're daven late, and then one day you're in a situation where you only have 1 minyan that's early.
Yeah,
so
it
doesn't matter. It's the same things if you daven early at the minyan or if you daven late b'chidus. You get the same thing since it's your normally your minhag to daven later.
So someone who always goes like the chachamim, he always davens Ma'ariv at night later. And one day now he decides he wants to go according to Rabbi Yehuda. Some person will say you can't change. If you always go to Chachamim, even though the Ovid Kamar of it, it doesn't mean that one day like this and one day like that. You have to have a steady thing. So some person hold. Some person hold no. Ovid Kamar of it. In the winter, I go like Rabbi Yehuda, like the Chachamim. In the summer, I go like Rabbi Yehuda. Right? Half a year.
It's like sphere.
Huh?
It's like sphere sometimes in the beginning.
Yeah, right. This is all during the week. The question is Erev Shabbos any different? That's the question. Is Erev Shabbos any different? I want to say one more thing. This day you could daven Ma'ariv early. A lot of poskim say, let's say boys bar mitzvahs in the summer, right? And so they daven Ma'ariv early. He should not daven, David's bar mitzvah should not daven Ma'ariv early. Meaning, if his bar mitzvah is, let's say, on Tuesday, Monday night, he shouldn't daven Ma'ariv with the Plag Ma'ariv, because it's not about Chiyuv yet. Even if you can hold, which is a whole different share now, even if you hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that's Man Ma'ariv starts after Plag HaMincha, Rabbi Yehuda is not going to say that it's night. Who's not going to say after Plag HaMincha, the person becomes Bar Mitzvah? No such thing. You could daven Ma'ariv. For the next day, you could daven Ma'ariv now already. But he doesn't hold that now after Plag HaMincha it's ready the next day. So if someone's Bar Mitzvah is on Tuesday, and he's going to daven Ma'ariv Monday night, when it's still light, he's not about Chiyuv yet. He should wait. And not just that, some places can say if it's Rosh Chodesh, Tuesday, you shouldn't have Ma'ariv either. Because you can't see Yal V'Yavoy. If you do see Yal V'Yavoy, the question is, do you see Yal V'Yavoy? It's not Rosh Chodesh yet. It's not Rosh Chodesh yet. Rosh Chodesh is Tuesday. What's Monday night? I'm saying Yal V'Yavoy for Ma'ariv for Tuesday is a question. The Ma'ariv we do say Yal V'Yavoy, and the Plag Ma'ariv do say Yal V'Yavoy. But some places hold better on Rosh Chodesh, don't daven Ma'ariv early. How about Shabbos? Shabbos, everyone davens early. Right? Why is Shabbos different? During the week, you'll see that some people daven Ma'ariv late. Shabbos, everyone davens early. You cannot find a late minyan Ma'ariv in the summer, especially here where it's very late. Is Shabbos different, or Shabbos the same as during the week? So here's a big question: if Shabbos is different. So if you look in the Magen Avram in the Simon Samach Zayin, he has a long arichas about Shabbos, if Shabbos is different or not. This that we could be Mekabel Shabbos early, and we daven mincha, let's say before the plag, and Ma'ariv after the plag, is that according to the Rabbanan also, or only according to Rabbi Yehuda? I'm a Chachama person. A whole week I own daven Ma'ariv when it's dark. Erev Shabbos, I want to daven early. Is that because now I'm holding like Rabbi Yehuda? Or no? Even the Chacham asking Shabbos is different. And why should Shabbos be different? Says the Magen Avram, Shabbos is different because you have a right to be Mekabel Shabbos early. You have a right to extend the Shabbos. Tuesday,
How do you get it with the...
Tuesday, you can't extend Tuesday onto Monday. No such thing. Doesn't work. You're right. You could have a Ma'ariv Monday right before it gets dark, before Tuesday. But everyone agrees that it's not Tuesday yet. By Shabbos, it could be it's different. When you Mekabel Shabbos early, says the Magen Avram, there it could be everyone agrees that you're allowed to daven Ma'ariv early, even according to the Chachamim. Why? Because now I just started Shabbos early. I extended my Shabbos onto Friday. So now I'm davening Ma'ariv. Not just that, there won't be a problem of saying Vayetzei, there won't be a problem davening a Ma'ariv of Shabbos. Like Rosh Chodesh we said, some people say don't daven Ma'ariv early to the next day of Rosh Chodesh. Shabbos, everyone agrees you could daven Ma'ariv early because you're adding Shabbos. Including
Shabbos Rosh Chodesh.
Including Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, doesn't make a difference. You could daven Ma'ariv early. But the difference would be like this. So Shabbos, the reason why you could daven early, because now I pulled Shabbos back onto Friday, so now I could daven Ma'ariv, it's already Shabbos. The difference would be also, if that's the reason why I'm allowed to daven Ma'ariv early, so then, let's say I decide I want to be Mekabel Shabbos an hour or 45 minutes after the plag. Right? The first 45 minutes after plag is still weekday. I want to be Mekabel Shabbos 45 minutes early, and I'll leave the other half hour, whatever, from the plag till those 45 minutes weekday. So now I daven mincha after plag. I daven mincha after plag. I daven mincha after plag. Now I'm making it Shabbos, and I can daven Ma'ariv. So it could be on Shabbos, even though during the week you have a Tata Desasri, and during the week you're not allowed to daven mincha after plag and daven Ma'ariv before it was still light. It could be Erev Shabbos is different. There's big machlokes in the place here. It could be Erev Shabbos is different. And the reason is because the reason why I'm davening Ma'ariv Erev Shabbos when it's still light is because I was moisif Mechalal Chodesh. I made it now Shabbos. If I can make it Shabbos, I can decide what time I want it to be Shabbos. I decided I want it to be Shabbos a half hour after plag, so now is when Shabbos starts. So even though I davened mincha 10 minutes ago, I could still now daven Ma'ariv, even though both of them are happening after plag. This is food for thought. It's a big machlokes in the Poskim. If you could do it not Shabbos, most people are makbid, even Erev Shabbos, to have the daven mincha before plag and Ma'ariv after plag. Those who don't, there is a lot of Poskim that hold the Erev Shabbos. You could extend the Shabbos early, and that's why you're allowed to daven Ma'ariv.
Does Shavuos ever fall on Friday night?
Does Shavuos ever fall on Friday night?
Only the second.
No, the first night can never fall on Friday night. No.
If a baby is born to a woman in that situation, she's daven Ma'ariv, but it's still light out.
Yeah.
Shabbos.
Yeah.
Is it bris on Shabbos?
No.
So that's why we don't say it's.
That's why we don't say. And this is the whole shit of Natsma. We spoke about it once.
Things too that
yeah. Well, I'll speak about it in a second.
I've seen at some shuls during the summer, they say you have to daven mincha by a certain time, or else you have to wait until after dark to daven.
Right, because you daven mincha after plag.
Yeah.
You have to wait till it gets dark. Daven Ma'ariv. Kata the Sasri. If you daven mincha before the plag, which is like an hour and 15-20 minutes before it gets dark, then you can daven Ma'ariv afterwards. But if you can daven Ma'ariv, if you daven mincha after plag, yeah, if you daven. No what?
You daven mincha after plug.
When on a regular day or Friday?
No, Friday.
Okay, Friday is different.
I'm saying
Right.
Friday.
Oh, Friday night is different. Yeah, Friday night is different.
You're
But
allowed.
it happens sometimes here. If you, let's say you come late from mincha, you know,
Right, that
you're
becomes
kind of
fine.
really close.
Right,
Let's
quite
say
close.
you're walking, they're just finishing because you just arrived.
Right, and
You're probably davening after clock. You can't daven Marv.
Correct, during the week.
Yeah, during the week.
During the week, yeah. During the week, it's very hard to find the heter.
Yeah.
On Shabbos, you can find the heter. During the week, it's very hard to find the heter. And this day they asked if you're Mekabel Shabbos early, because to me now, if the baby is born, so the bris is on Shabbos? No. If you're Mekabel Shabbos early, maybe one day we'll go through this. But if you're Mekabel Shabbos early, it doesn't mean that now it's the next day already. Right?
When you have spirits.
Yeah. For example, if you Mekabel Shabbos early, you forget to count Sfira, Friday Sfira, could you still count? You can still count. It's a lot of nafkaminas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of nafkaminas, but it's definitely not the next day. B'negei Sfira, b'negei Hefsek Tahira, they speak about. You can't want to be Mekabel Shabbos if a lady can still do Hefsek Tahira afterwards, or no, it's already the next day. There's a lot of questions that come up. A bris is definitely not till it gets dark outside. There's a lot of these type of shalos. I mean, one of the big shalos the person bring down is if Rosh Hashanah fell down on Friday, the second day of Rosh Hashanah, obviously, they do Rosh. The first day can't be on Friday. The second day of Rosh Hashanah is Friday. They did have a shofar. They Mekabel Shabbos early, and then later on, the 20 minutes before Shkia, someone comes with a shofar. Shabbos can't blow a shofar. I can not blow a shofar now. What do you do? This is a Taz's question. Taz's whole amikas about this. So there's a whole different shmooze about everything, every mitzvah that you can do. Is it night and get everything else or not? But there's a long Taz about at the end of Hilchos Sukkah. But when again Mincha and Ma'ariv, for that we find the kula that when again Ma'ariv, even though during the week you won't have a Mincha and Ma'ariv after Plag, it could be Erev Shabbos would be able to.
I have a question.
Let's bench print.
And how many people do we have?
If on
We don't have 10?
if on Tuesday
Yeah.
you have your site for a parent,
Oh,
and,
your type.
and on Monday you daven Marv
Right,
early.
it's another thing. I might speak this out. If someone has your site on a Tuesday, let's say, he shouldn't daven Ma'ariv Monday when it's still light outside.
After plug.
He should wait till it gets dark outside.
Really?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. I spoke to Shlomo about this. Shlomo says,
We have it all the time at the Vayetzei.
yeah. So during the week,
But Shabbos is different.
right.
So Shabbos becomes different.
Right. During the week,
Yeah.
most people will say you should wait till night. Shabbos, it could be you're okay. Yeah, Shabbos the minig is. I asked him Shlomo Shiloh once. I said, "I can daven Ma'ariv. It's not." He says, "I say it's the minig."
No.
I say it's the minig.
Say no.